everyone. All right, so we are back in class for day 2 online. Hope everyone's having a good time at home, not too stressed out. I'm actually inside the house, and look what I put up. Our goals from our classroom. Awesome, so make sure you're following them while you're watching these videos. Remember, good listening and on task. Those are the important ones for right now while you're watching me. Let's get started with our skills page, day 2 for morning work like we do in class. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so we can get ready to start. I'm going to turn on my pen. I have my pen turned on, so the blue light's on. And we are ready to go. So, number 1, who's knocking on the door? Asked Sadie. We're going to start with what we always say is the most simplest thing of any sentence that we've been learning since kindergarten is the capital letter at the beginning, a period at the end, or question mark, depending on if it's a statement or a question, which this is a statement. Who's knocking on the door? Asked Sadie. So we're going to put that capital letter right here. We're going to put 3 lines under the W and the period right there. Now, when I was reading this, I noticed that word whose. That's not the right way to spell whose. Remember, whose is a contraction. You take who and is and you put it together and you have whose. So when you do that, you have to have an apostrophe. And remember that W needs to be capitalized because it's still at the beginning of a sentence. So who's knocking? Knocking's also spelled wrong. In the word knocking, we have a silent K. And how do you remember that? Because I remember the click, 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 like all right. I'll trick to remember that. There's that silent K right there. So who's knocking on the door? Asked Sadie. So someone's saying something. And when someone says something, we put quotations around what they are saying. Who's, should have that quotation mark, knocking on the door. That's what she is asking. So it goes around that section. And then we put a comma to separate, not on top of the A. Let's try that again. That's not any better. There you go. Put that comma to separate who's saying it and what they're saying. And then I noticed who's knocking on the door. We have to put a period or a question mark. That is a question. So we put that question mark right there. All right, who's knocking on the door? Asked Sadie. Sadie is a proper noun. Has to be capitalized. All right, there is number 1 done. If you notice anything that I forgot, let me know. Let's do number 2. Write the syllabification and part of speech of the word election from the dictionary. So we've been looking up dictionary entries normally on day 5. However, I'm starting to separate them throughout the week. So the first day, we just looked up the definition in the dictionary. And when we looked that up, we had the definition that election is an act or process of voting for our leaders. So now we are taking that word and not just looking at the definition, but looking at the syllabification, the sounds. So here we go. Election. That's 3 of how they break it up into syllabification. So, and then I'm going to share another screen with you. And on this screen, I Googled it for a definition. And as you can see right here, that's how you break it up. Election. So that's the syllabification. So you put those little dots in between it. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen, go back to our screen, and write that down. Let me turn on my phone. not my phone, that was my phone. But let me turn on my pen again. I have to turn that on since I just went off of it. All right. Election. Remember, T-I-O-N always says shun. So when you see that at the end of a word, you always say shun. All right. Now the next part. All right, the syllabification and part of speech. Part of speech. Okay, well, we saw that on there. Right underneath it, it was a noun. It is a process. So a process is a thing, so it is a noun. All right, number 2 is done. Let's go to number 3. Create a sentence using the prepositional phrase under the bed. Remember, prepositional phrase is showing a position. So in this case, it is under, that's the position, the bed. So the preposition is under. All right, remember we talked about Tim and Moby was wearing a hat, and anywhere the hat can go on Moby is a preposition. All right, same way when we do the squirrel in the tree. So let's write this out. This is pretty easy. How to use the monster is under the bed. The monster is under the period. All right, number 4, using your context clues. I remember we normally do that in class. Oh, Mr. B's texting me. He can wait. Our context clues to figure out the underlying word. So when we're reading the sentence, we need to think about what is happening in the sentence to figure out this word. And then we're going to write a synonym for the word. So remember, that's step 3. Synonym is only one word that means the same thing. So if you use 2 words, that's not a synonym. Synonym is one word that means the same thing. And that's why there's an S in synonym. Synonym, same, one word. All right, we were late for school, so we hasten our steps. All right, so when I'm using my context clues, I think about it, and if they're late for school, they have to hasten their steps. So I think if they're late, they're going to try to rush. You're not going to slow down, you're going to try to rush. So maybe I can substitute that word. Let's see. We were late for school, so we rushed our steps. That looks like a good one. Rushed our steps. Ooh, or you can say quicken our steps because they went quicker, quicken. I even came up with another one. My other one was hurried our steps. These are all, if you got any of these words, these are all synonyms. Rushed is a synonym of hasten, quicken is a synonym of hasten, and hurried is a synonym of hasten. All right, number 5. Create a sentence using the prefix sub and a verb. All right, so the prefix sub. So I have to think of a word that has sub at the beginning of it because prefix means beginning sound of a word. Subheading, like in our text features. So and then a verb is something you do. So we read the subheading. There you go. We read the subheading. And I know that looks like 2 words, but subheading is actually one. I'm going to put that little dash there to show it's actually one. My pen wouldn't write very quickly. So we read the subheading. So there is my prefix, and then there is my verb read. Read is something we do. All right, we are done with this. So let me stop sharing and let's see what this egg is. So you guys did a good job on the egg surprise box. Oh, it's a letter. I wonder who the letter could be from. Dear Mrs. Bruce, thanks for explaining what a conjunction is in a sentence. We made a video about it. Come check it out. Your friends, Tim and Moby. Ah, they asked me what a conjunction was, so I told them. And now they made a video about it. Let's go check that out. All right, let's see if I can share my screen of the video again. I sure can. All right. Share screen. Let's see. Stop. Hold on one second. There we go. All right, let's watch them, you guys.
Never apologize.
Let's go for
Oh, why didn't you wake me up? Man, detention. Why didn't you tell me that your alarm clock was malfunctioning? Dear Tim and Moby, could you make a movie about the different kinds of conjunctions? From Marie. Well, sure we can. Conjunctions are really useful little words. They join up parts of a sentence and let you express all kinds of complex relationships between ideas. Here are a few different kinds of conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions include for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. You can remember them with an acronym, fanboys. Coordinating conjunctions join two equal parts of speech. You can use them to connect words to words, phrases to phrases, and clauses to clauses. See, in the first sentence, the conjunction and joins the words Moby and I. In the next one, or joins up the phrases a note from your parents and a permission slip from the teacher. And in the last one, but joins the clauses Moby claims that he set the alarm and I didn't get to school on time. Some conjunctions are made up of more than one word. Correlative conjunctions travel in pairs, joining up sentences or elements of a sentence that are grammatically equal to each other. Some common correlative conjunctions are both, and, not only, but also, not, but, neither, nor, and either, or. In this sentence, the conjunction either, or connects the two clauses Moby gets his internal clock fixed and I replace him with an alarm clock. But not all conjunctions join equal parts of speech. Well, subordinating conjunctions come at the beginning of a clause and make it depend on another clause for its meaning. Like, since I didn't wake up on time, I was late to school. The since is a subordinating conjunction. It turns the independent clause, I didn't wake up on time, into a dependent clause that relies on the main clause, I was late to school, to complete the sentence. There are lots of different subordinating conjunctions expressing all sorts of different relationships. Some common ones are after, although, as, because, before.
Oh, looks like it stopped. Let's refresh it.
Different subordinating conjunctions expressing all sorts of different relationships. Some common ones are after, although, as, because, before, how, if, once, since, than, that, though, until, when, where, whether, and while. Conjunctions can create either loose or tight connections. I was late for school and I got detention doesn't tell you much about the relationship between the clauses. It's more of a loose connection. I was late for school, so I got detention tells you more. Getting detention seems to have been caused by being late for school. But a subordinating conjunction like because makes it clear. Detention is a direct result of being late. Words like however, moreover, nevertheless, and therefore aren't actually true conjunctions. They're conjunctive adverbs, which are just transitional devices between one thought and another. If you use them, remember to punctuate them properly. Because they're, like weaker than true conjunctions, they need extra help from a period or semicolon to keep sentences together. Yep, you really messed with my day. Moby is programmed for stubbornness, so he'll never apologize.
All right, well, I hope you listen to those conjunctions because they're going to come up in our direct instructions soon. Go ahead and get on to your MTSS, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.